Simply put, a polymath is an exceptionally versatile human who excels in multiple, seemingly unrelated fields. Some of your favorite, most influential people have been polymaths. People like Leonardo da Vinci, Benjamin Franklin, Aristotle, Imhotep, Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, and so on. And that's what we are going to talk about today. What is a polymath? And should you be one? Should you strive to be one? And is a polymath the same as a jack of all trades? This whole video originates from me just one day jotting down my thoughts in my journal, and I wrote, I want to be a jack of all trades. There should be those kind of people in the world. They are the people who connect the domains of the world and life. They are the people who come up with the most creative and out-of-box ideas, as they have something to connect it to. The world is holistic. The jack of all trades will be the person who makes the most groundbreaking discovery as they think in a different manner than experts and specialists. Of course, we need experts and specialists in life. Both kinds should be in this world. But then there are the people who are not good at anything to a degree where they can't separate from others. The people who are extremely average in everything. And that is a problem. There's a big difference between a polymath or jack of all trades and then a total mediocre person. And that is a big problem that we experience today, as most people are mediocre and don't have any exceptional knowledge in one or multiple fields. When I talk about a jack of all trades, I don't mean a person who is spread insanely thin and only possess the shallowest of information in a plethora of fields. I talk about people like Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, Goethe, and Isaac Newton. Actually, I should describe them as polymaths rather than jack of all trades. You've probably heard the quote, jack of all trades, master of none. But that is not the full quote actually. The full quote is, jack of all trades, master of none, done oftentimes better than master of one. Yeah, think about that. Pull that card, pull out the full quote whenever you hear the shortened version. That's what I'm talking about. It's oftentimes better than a master of one. But a jack of all trades can still be shit. And then I finished the session of journaling with I want to be a polymath and document that process. But I'll probably never be able to call myself a polymath. And then I reference the Dunning-Kruger effect, put that up on the screen. You see where in the start you know absolutely nothing, but you think you know everything. And then you realize you don't know anything. And then, you go through that whole thing. Like in the start, you think you know everything, but then when you know everything, you know you don't know everything. The more I know, the more I realize I don't know. That's a quote by Socrates, and perfect to illustrate this effect. A good deal more worthy of preference by the clear-sighted teacher will be those students who are somewhat headstrong, contemptuous of first place, insensible of the inducements of vanity, and who, being endowed with the abundance of restless imagination, spend their energy in the pursuit of literature, art, philosophy, and all the recreations of mind and body. To him who observes them from afar, it appears as though they are scattering and dissipating their energies, while in reality they are channeling and strengthening them. There's a quote that exactly talks about how It may look like you're running from one field or topic to another. Remember, that can be a problem. Always running from one field to another and never actually getting quite good at anything. But it can also be a great thing when you walk out of a field with a good level of competence and then walk into another. And most oftentimes you can actually use skills you learned in the first field to do practical and theoretical stuff in the new field you've walked into. And that's what the quote talks about. And then on a later date, I wrote out some more thoughts on this topic. I wrote, just like with your body, you need to be competent on many areas. You should balance out your competence across different areas. It won't be beneficial to just build up your biceps to incredible strength. You can't just let one muscle become much stronger than the others. If so, then you won't be as effective with your weightlifting than if you build up all your muscles together. View each subject of information as a muscle, and combined, they form a whole body of knowledge. Something much more capable of doing remarkable things than just a single bicep could ever do. Yeah, and that's what a expert or specialist is. They've just maxed out their bicep and everything else is they have chicken legs and no other muscles than their bicep. And that's the difference between a polymath and a specialist. Polymath has also maxed out, not to an as high degree as the biceps or as a expert's biceps, but they've also grown them a lot. They've grown their traps, their chest, their triceps, their quadriceps, and so on. And then I quickly want to link my chain of thoughts with Polanyi's paradox, which talks about how we can know much more than we can tell. The theory that human knowledge of how the world functions and of our own capability are to a large extent beyond our explicit imagination and understanding. And that is, of course, theory by Carl Polanyi. And there's also a quote by Buddha which talks about this, which I've drawn up in some other videos, but I absolutely love it, so I'm gonna give it again. Each of us is a god. Each of us knows all. We need only open our minds to hear our own wisdom. And then I have a study that talks about linking different domains of life together. A study conducted by the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine found that students who were able to increase their observational recognition skills after taking an art class. That's crazy. After they took an art class, they were able to increase their observational recognition skills. And that is the essence of polymathy. And then I want to highlight some quotes that I've taken from Dan Coe and just link them all together as they're all his. Intelligence is not about how much you know, it's about how much you understand. If you don't understand it, you don't need to memorize it. If you don't understand it, you don't want to memorize it. Intelligence is holistic. When we say someone is very intelligent, what we mean is that they have a higher ability for holistic pattern recognition. They can make sense of the world by connecting the dots. They have a deep sense of insight that leads to intuition, allowing them to make intelligent decisions. Intelligence is not getting trapped in parts, but swimming in wholes. Intelligence stems from generalism, not specialism. Being a specialist often puts you in direct competition with other specialists. Confining your mind to that specialist frame prevents you from learning in connected domains that allows you to be creative. Intelligence is holistic, creative and metaphysical. A worldview is just a web of ideas. Yeah. That's some quotes that I took from Danko and from this video right here. And then I want to round off this video with drawing on a parable which I wrote some time ago, and I hope it makes sense to you. Our life is like a sailboat. It starts off by being built. This is the first 7 years of our lives. If the sailboat is built with quality materials, perfect engineering, detailed carvings on its hull, and focus on performance and longevity, it will be remembered and idolized. Then we will have to find a crew for the ship. We can choose a hardworking and experienced personnel, or some lazy assholes that won't understand the boat's purpose and sail into massive rocks when it's out on the open sea. The crew is your brain. You can choose what skills your crew should possess. But if they can't fix the boat, which is your body, then it leaks. Then we have to sail the ship. The sail is our beliefs and wants. If you haven't figured out what you want in life, then you got holes in a sail and you won't go anywhere. God is the wind, ultimately driving the boat forward. If your sail points the wrong way, then you won't catch the wind. God will choose if it's windy or quiet, if the waves are turbulent or peaceful. If your mind is knowledgeable, ready, smart and wise, then your ship won't neither catch the wind nor be prepared for a stormful weather. That is the last thing on this video. Thank you for watching and listening. Hope you wrote down some of the thoughts that I gave you and can take inspiration from them and make your own works and thoughts. Have a great day. Goodbye.